So we're still in the dark night of the soul, honey. Do you realize that? You told me that, so I believe you. Yes, we are still in the dark night of the soul. But let's embrace it. Let's embrace it. You have your beetle cards? You know that I do. We had a little protein. We had some oysters. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's going to be good. I love you so much. And I know you know that's true. So here comes the other son, George. Well, Lena, you know this is my favorite card. Yes, George. He rarely filters me. He really doesn't. Yeah, I don't really filter George. And I don't filter Paul anymore. But in the beginning I did. I've never really filtered uh, Ringo because you and Ringo talk among yourselves. And you always have. You and George too, really. But you and Richie. That connection has always been extremely powerful. In fact, I have so much respect for your connection with Richie that I'm just honored to be part of it. So, and George, and all of them. George, would you like to talk on Paul's rebirth? We were all reborn at some time or another. We had to be in order to be worthy of John. So, at some point in another in our lives, we all were slipping. Me and Richie slipped later on when John left the band. Really, that was that's when we fell a little bit, staggered and fell, but got back up. Paul had to be reborn in 1963 before or else we never would have hit. We never would have. We never would have made it. We would have been like these guys, laying down on the floor and just John standing in the middle of us. All right, I can't explain it any better than that. Paul was reborn in 1963, just before we made plans to come over to New York for the big concert. You know, your brother-in-law, Teddy, they did bring him to see the Beatles get off the plane. They told him his whole life that they didn't bring him to punish him. To this day, he thinks, go ahead, this is Richie, yeah. Lena, I told you this quite a while back. Yes, you did, but I just didn't even think about the story because I try to put Teddy winning out of my mind. Well, you're he's not on your mind, but you're on his mind an awful lot. And, as you know, he was his dopey wife, his first wife, and her claim to fame is that she has my signature from his mother. That's not my signature, by the way. It's a fake. Okay. Yeah, Jeanette and Annie Van Bergen. That's a fake signature. That wasn't me. It wasn't me who gave my signature to that guy. We all had doubles. We had to. It's too dangerous not to. Really? Yeah. Well, Lena, we're going to start showing you footage and you can tell us who is real and who is not. But I'll tell you one thing right now. I think you're going to be shocked by the whole thing. Really. In a good way. It's very funny. It's really very funny and you'll see it. Don't feel hoodwinked, Lena. Don't feel hoodwinked because you were in on it. Really? Yeah, you were in on it. You had to help the imposters. You had to coach the imposters. We were not going to go out there in front of all those people. We didn't dare. That wasn't us in the Philippines. Right down to Mal and Neil and Brian. None of those were us. When we were attacked in the Philippines, they were some very scared imposters, but they weren't us. This is amazing. Yeah. So what were we getting at with Teddy? Oh, so he didn't. Teddy went to the airport. His mother's a sadistic thing. So was the father, and they just spent his whole life telling him that he didn't see the Beatles, that he wasn't there, and it's really sick and it's really crazy, but it's true. They just did it to fuck with him. They can't stand him. They really can't stand their kids at all. It's the truth. They're like as indiscriminately nasty as the devil is. Is the devil nasty? Well, let's see. Oh, it's Paul. Paul? That's me in this picture, yeah. My brother took that picture of me. That's me. I was really a lost soul when this picture was taken. Very much a lost soul. Not really happy. But that didn't really happen for me until Linda. The happiness that I always needed and the love. That wasn't until Linda. But you have a lot to... This is funny because I'm looking at this card and it looks like Amy in the window up there. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, isn't that? Isn't it funny how that happens? Let me look at this card. What is it really? Oh, it's just like the numbers 4 but when you put it up here to the thing, it looks like Amy's looking in the window. Yeah, Mother Mary. Lena, Mother Mary. Lose no faith. Trust all that we tell you. This is an exciting part of the ride. And you're so smart. You're gonna... You got to remember, you helped design this blueprint. You were the mastermind behind it. Don't let that scare you either. It only means that you're incredible. And to think that any of those people, those idiotic fucking nieces and nephews of Christopher's and his mother, and to think that they can out hoodwink you or try to... Your lawyer is like, he's got all their information. Yeah. Yeah, he does. Robbie always had a brain like a fucking computer. He's really like a computer head. Now the phone's ringing. Who do you think that is? Might be someone in his family. Maybe Steven. Let's see. Let's see if she's right. I'm going to say she's right. It's Steven. Really? Let's see. Who is it? It was Steven. Really? Yeah. They hung up. They got scared. Really? Yeah, he thought he was going to say something, and then he got scared and he hung up. Remember how he used to come around and just like peek around the corners? You would see him, Lena? Yeah. And if you were sitting on the porch, he'd run away and wait until you went inside. And then suddenly he'd come running out of nowhere. Yeah, I remember. He did that so many times, didn't he? Yeah, he did it all the time.
Who was that?
Your brother Steven, when he was when all the shit was hitting the fan, and I would be, when the family was all upset, I had just come out of the hospital. I would sit on the porch, and he would I would see him out of the corner of my eye. I caught him every time. He'd be walking along 95th Avenue, and acting like he was, and like with a hood on. Yeah, yeah, sunglasses and a hood. Yeah, and he would just and then if he saw me, he'd just turn his head and walk really fast, toward the Culkins, along 95th. And then I would go inside, and then sure enough, 4 minutes later or whatever, he would come racing up and run quick into the driveway, quiet and steal in there. And I caught him doing it every time. Yeah. But I didn't act like I caught him doing it. I think one time I did. He was like, "Oh, hey, Lynn," I was like, "Hey." Yeah. That's a scary crowd, but they're all scared of you. Oh well,
You really got a good situation going here for yourself.
you're really gonna have some fun now. Don't let him get to you. He's trying to get you upset. Don't do it. Don't do it, Chris. She ain't having that tonight. She is not having it. That's Hiram. Yeah. Don't bother this girl. You'd be a fucking fool to bother this girl right now. Johnny will go off on you, man, because Johnny's got his gun. Well, Johnny's not going to shoot any... No, we don't have a gun in here. Johnny's the loaded gun. Johnny's the spiritually loaded gun. That ring is pretty, Lena. Oh, yeah. I took off the other ones. My hands were bothering. Yeah, you're very sensitive right now. You're David, right? Yeah, of course it's me. He's letting me in. He's had it. Johnny, are you okay? Yeah, I'm all right, honey. Thanks for worrying about me. Of course I'm worried about you. This is like an insane thing. So you were assassinated or what? No, that wasn't me. I never thought that picture of the body in that casket. I always thought it never looked like, it wasn't me. Not at all. Mm-mm. I'm alive. Hmm. Very healthy. Very in tune to you, getting us through this whole thing. I'm alive. Hmm. I know, honey. I know that. Yeah. Yeah, he's talking to you. It's me, Rich. I know, honey. Mm. He talks to all of us. We stay in touch, by telephone, telepathy, whatever. We talk to Johnny on the phone. People out there are they are nuts. People who are not human are affected by the energy of the ascension, but they don't know what to do about it because it just doesn't make any sense to them. The women all think they're having their menopause. The women bots. The men are all getting cancer. Hmm. The women are getting cancer too. I want to say something about the cancer thing. All right. They're all going to get cancer. Everyone on your email list is going to get cancer. Like starting now. It's like festering. She's got it already, Annie. She's got like liver cancer. She don't even know it. She don't get herself checked or nothing. She's like planning on dropping dead in her sleep. That's not going to be that easy, but whatever. She's really sick. It's distended. She knows. She's doing lousy. She's a witch. God doesn't protect those. He gets them out of here. Want to go down the list? John, I will honor what God the Father wants David to do. I am tired. Truly, I am tired. God the Father, this is Hiram speaking, and I say, let's go. Oh, the Emperor. Well, that's me. Often it is me. Hello, Lena. How are you, my love? I'm fine, Hiram. John bit your tongue hard today. He didn't mean to hurt you. He did, though. But I know. He used to do that to you all the time. It got a lot better. He hasn't done it the way he used to. He's really calmed down. You don't have to fear him. I don't fear John. Why do I? I don't. Sometimes he feels like you fear him, but don't. His love is so powerful. It's frightening. It's like thunder and lightning. The way he loves you is frightening. It's really true. He really tones it down a lot too, but it's going to get worse again. I'm sorry to tell you that. No, it's all right. The Emperor. Okay, well that's all the father figures in the family. Okay, so that's which is not Christopher, not by a long shot. He is the eternal child of this nut house. But really, Christopher is just a beloved child of God. He is a very youthful energy, truth be told. Anyway, he doesn't have anything to do with that bunch. That's a mess. Old man Whitting, whatever, who's ever left. Teddy, Stephen, Ken, Jen, the old woman, whose sister just died, the kids, they're all gonna have cancer. Spinal cancer, and the one. There's something wrong with that titanium that they used. They don't know what they're doing. People who put plates in people, that's always a mess. Somebody like that. That was a disaster. He just had a second operation. Did he really? Yeah. They had to replace the whole piece. He's doing much better now, though. It's like a silicone. Really? Yeah. That's much more compatible with his DNA. But yeah, that plate in his head. Oh my God. Yeah. So is he going to be all right? Yeah. Him, I care about. Yeah. We're not talking, by the way, out there, Jeanette. We're not talking about anyone in your family. Lena's talking about someone she cares about, not anybody in your family. So now the people in your family are going to have cancer. You'll die. You're all going to get it like the same time. You're all getting sick right now. That COVID shot has a lot to do with it. And yeah, Jen, I know you didn't get the COVID shot, but you got something else, and you'll figure that one out. All right. You always pick this one, but it's a good one. Okay, Hiram. Yeah. Hiram, David, John. Who's Well, we'll all kind of speak as one because you know that the Three of Cups is celebration and it's a carefree attitude. Also, Eric Clapton is down here on this card sitting with George. He's not a dark star, Lena. We were testing you yesterday. Eric Clapton is an all star, okay, but he's a great actor. That's something people don't know about Eric Clapton. The whole thing that went down with Patty, all an act. He didn't steal Patty from George. That was all an act. These were all ruses that had to take place in order for the doubles to come in. What about who's in the Let It Be film? Well, let's see. Is that the Beatles or are those doubles? What do you think? I know my John. Yeah, it's John. What about the other three in the Let It Be film? Well, you're dropping cards everywhere. I see where this is leading. 1 second. It's okay, Lena. You can drop your cards anywhere you want. Paul? Uh, yeah, I was in that film. I was in the Let It Be film. All right, but I wasn't in Help. You were not in Help. No, that wasn't me in Help. You were in Hard Day's Night? Correct. You were not in Help? That's correct. You weren't in any of the scenes in Help. I didn't say that. What did you say? I was in one scene in Help. Do you know which scene it was? Singing Another Girl on the beach. Oh, I have got... You're very good. That's correct. It's the only scene that the real Paul was in that whole movie. The music video for Another Girl. Okay. That's all we'll say on this for now. I'll let the others speak for themselves. But yes, I was in the whole Let It Be, the documentary that's now streaming on Disney. I was in that film. That was me all through the film. It was all of us in that film. That's why this film is very powerful. And so I'll just make that clear right now. It was all of us. And you know that it was definitely John because you cried all through it. So that's what happens to you with John. Right. Johnny, was you ever phony in any of the movies? Nope. I was always in the movie. All the movies. I was in the movies. But wait a minute. Yeah, you remember Yellow Submarine, right? Yes. Okay. Well, that was all of you doing all together now. Yes, that was it. That's right. But the movie itself was all phonies, right? With like cartoons. Right. All right. Let me get a card. Now, King of Swords. Imagine there was such a thing as holograms back in the day of Hard Day's Night. Like hologram actors? Yes. Not real. Very convincing celluloid holograms that were placed into the film after everyone else shot their scenes. What would be the point of doing that? Just imagine that for a moment. Imagine that for a moment. The whole movie is shot with every other actor in the film except the four Beatles. After the film, technological genius Stanley Kubrick, with the help of David Lynch, his young apprentice. Kubrick and Lynch is a shining star. Don't for a moment think he's a dark star. It's all right though. We've had to test you. Don't you think twice. Don't you worry. You feel all right? Yeah. You guys were all holograms in that movie? We were acting, and we were supplying the material to the computers to replicate us. What is your stomach doing over there? He's. I don't believe this. You're making so much noise with your stomach. We're talking about a very, very intensive. That's unbelievable, isn't it? What did he eat? It's still alive. Well, let's just cut it short here. We were holograms. We were not performing live. Guess what else? What? We never got off the airplane to land at Shea. Those were holograms jumping onto the field, running across Shea Stadium, baseball field. The helicopter, in actuality, was well, it was a space pod, and it was projecting our images down from above. We were in New York. We were having a grand old time. We went back to the hotel, made a couple of phone calls, ate a shitload of food, drank a lot of champagne, and we watched ourselves on a closed circuit television as we performed at Shea as holograms. Very advanced. David Lynch, Stanley Kubrick generated celluloid holograms. That's pretty good, Lena. Wow. Talk about imagine. Yeah. Let this go for now. Okay.